Hi there, Blake here with another bonus episode of the Cloud Accounting Podcast. In this interview recorded at the 2021 SuiteWorld conference, David and I talk with Joav, Bally and Marc Holliday about data analytics and specifically the new NetSuite Analytics Warehouse, which promises to help NetSuite companies get all of their financial and operational data in one place to generate new insights that were not possible previously. I hope you enjoy. Welcome to the Cloud Accounting Podcast. I'm Blake Oliver.
And I'm David Leary. And Blake, we are now at day 2.
Well, day 2 for us.
Day 2 for us. For some people, it's day 3 or day 4. A massive conference here. And we have 2 more guests to interview. We have Joav Bally. He's the Vice President in Product Management of NetSuite BI Analytics. And Marc Holliday, who's a Senior Product Manager for the HCM. Marc, HCM is?
Human Capital Management, and I also work with the Analytics Solutions as well.
Analytics Solutions as well. Got it. So we're happy to be here. For us, this is big learning because we live down in the down market a little bit, and it's the build your own ERP. You get QuickBooks or Xero, you get 10 apps, you put them all together, and you never can see the data across the board. So this is where I think you guys have solved this. So how do you solve this? How do you solve that problem?
Yes, so we just announced a couple of weeks back the launch of the NetSuite Analytics Warehouse. And it's tailored exactly for what you said. You know, most of the NetSuite customers have a lot of their financial data, if not all of their financial data in NetSuite. But, you know, they're using other applications as well, Salesforce, for example, or other best-of-breed vendors out there. And you would like to collect and analyze the data and get insight out of the data from one place. And that's exactly what the Analytics Warehouse is doing for you.
So it's not just my NetSuite data. I'm going to be able to get data from other applications I have out in the world.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
Even things like spreadsheets you can bring into the warehouse.
So is this an Oracle solution that has now been adapted for NetSuite as part of this, acquisition, or was it a new product? Or?
Yes, it's built on Oracle's autonomous data warehouse in the Oracle Analytics Cloud. What we've done is we have another analytics solution, our embedded solution called Suite Analytics, that every NetSuite customer has access to inside of our accounting solution. And so we've taken our Suite Analytics Connect product, which is an export tool to move data out of NetSuite into other places. And so we've taken that technology and used Oracle's technology to pre-build a data warehouse exclusively for NetSuite customers. We've done all the heavy lifting. We're transforming all the data for them, taking it from relational database to a multidimensional database and giving them prepackaged KPIs and dashboards. And then the addition of other data sources can come into the warehouse.
Got it. So Suite Analytics that's inside of NetSuite.
Correct.
That's using the NetSuite database.
Correct.
And you've connected now for something that, you couldn't do in NetSuite, you need to do in the warehouse.
Correct.
You can get your data easily into there.
Right.
Okay. And so I'd love to hear some examples of ways that the warehouse is what can the warehouse do, the data warehouse, that I couldn't do in Suite Analytics?
Yeah, I think there are 3 main areas that our customers really happy about to have the Analytics Warehouse. One is the third-party data integration. Third-party from a point of NetSuite is not NetSuite data. It's being able to take any data source they have. You spoke about, QuickBooks, 10 apps. So all these data that are being produced by these apps into one space. We also have customers that are new to NetSuite. That doesn't mean they're new to a business. They can be 5, 10, or even in some cases more years in business already. They have accumulated a lot of data over that time. And now that they are migrating to NetSuite, they ask us, what can we do with this data? We still would like to analyze it. We would like to retain it for historical purposes. So now we have an answer. We can say, hey, just put it in the data warehouse. NetSuite will be your new system of record, but you're not using your old data. You can still analyze that. So all the non-NetSuite data sources we can integrate is one of the use cases.
So instead of migrating my old data to NetSuite, I start using NetSuite. I go that day forward using NetSuite, but because of the data warehouse, I still can, if I need to look up some old data, you just stick it in the data warehouse and I can get to it.
Absolutely.
Right.
For compliance and audit reasons, I know in some industries you have to keep your data for as long as 7 years. And absolutely, the warehouse has a use case that you can use it for that exact purpose.
I wish we had something like that in the down market world, because one of the biggest complaints you hear is it's so hard to get my old data from my old accounting system into the new one whenever you're converting. It's a real challenge. This solves that.
Right.
That's great.
Exactly. I mean, I think the possibilities are limitless. I mean, if you think about external data sources, you can bring in anything from weather data to analyze seasonality of your business to see if there's some patterns in terms of weather in certain areas of the country or
any
the world.
data set I have access to, I could just shove into the data warehouse and then connect that and crisscross reports of my NetSuite data.
Right. And we've done all the heavy lifting by bringing all the NetSuite data in there for our customers. And we'll maintain what we call those data pipelines to refresh that data every day or even more frequently if they want to. So other examples could be to analyze your customer base and compare that with external market data, market sizing data, to see where there might be new opportunities to grow your business or where you might be facing stiffer competition. So any outside data source, to mash it together with NetSuite data, is what the real value, or one of the real values of this new analytics warehouse is.
And what level of technology or technical prowess would I need to do this?
Point
Like,
and
do I
click.
need to bring in, is it the engineer? I'm an accounting firm, or I need to bring in I need to hire an engineer at my company now to do this. Can I just dump this data in and just map some fields and use it?
Point and click. If you can point
Can we
and click.
quote you on that?
Oh yeah. If you can point and click, well, let me qualify that. If you point and click, you can bring the NetSuite data in automatically. The external data sources, we have 25 pre-built data connectors to Google.
What are a couple of those?
Google Analytics, Salesforce, those types of platforms. To bring other external data sources in, it's not point and click. There's some configuration, but just to do the NetSuite side of the warehouse, it's setting it up, choosing which functional area of data you want, your financials, your inventory, and you send it over to the warehouse. Then on the visualization side, I don't know, Joav, I think that the skill set, if you know Excel, if you can understand Excel and Excel pivots and charts and some of the maybe the more cool statistical things you can do in Excel.
The scatter
The
charts
scatter charts
look really neat.
and the outlier charts.
Yeah.
So I think that would definitely help you understand the warehouse. But the Oracle technology has really put it in non-technical language. So you really don't need engineers. You don't need data scientists. You don't need BI development resources to use this and get value out of it.
I want to clarify something that I think I saw today in the demo. And sometimes you don't know, is like, is this demo magic or is this real? But it was a scatter chart. And just like if you're on your computer and you want to do a screenshot and you just draw a box around the thing you want to screenshot, like they drew a box around some of the scatter points and it instantly refreshed the table down below. Like, was that real?
That's
magic, real magic.
Of course.
Oh, so that's cool. I thought that was I've never seen that done before. Usually you could drill down on stuff, click on one thing, but to just draw a box around, I thought that was really cool.
Well,
Congratulations.
The other thing that was cool, which you mentioned, sort of point and click, was you can drag data points or what would you call them? It's like a box that says date, and you drag it into
dimensions. And
you drag that onto the x-axis or the y-axis, and you can build a totally custom chart that way, just the way like a pivot table in Excel. But actually, I would say you did it better.
right.
It's like it's easier than
Because you have to build a pivot table, then take your pivot table and turn it into a chart, when really you just want the chart. So you may as well skip the pivot table part. It makes a lot of sense.
And then another nice capability of the warehouse is once you've got your analysis the way you want, the chart that you want, you can easily export it to Word, PowerPoint, because a lot of times these analysis end up in presentations.
investor decks.
Yep. Those types of things. So it's really just selecting export to PowerPoint and it'll automatically create the slide for you.
Well, so it all looks lovely. What's the cost? How do folks get onto it? It looks amazing. So I feel like it's going to be pricey.
Well, you get analytics. You get the analytics for not free, but it's part of NetSuite.
Suite
The
Analytics
default-
is in the
default.
platform. So any subscriber to NetSuite Accounting ERP receives it. The warehouse itself, what we can say is it's priced very well for our target markets, which is the SMB market. We think it's going to be...
Now, when you say SMB, what does that mean to you? Because it's so broad.
We generally define SMB as 1,000 employees or less, is our general definition. Yo, would you agree? So we've priced it competitively for that size company.
And who's using it today? Is it available now? Is it out and in the wild?
Yes, it is. It is available. We went through a beta program. We had a couple of customers in beta who tested it. We launched it beginning of the month, October, and yeah, we are seeing good traction. Of course, we can't disclose numbers, but you've seen ClickStop being on stage with Evan, so they're reference customers there. And we're very excited with the outlook for that product. I think that many of our customers will be very interested in it. Of course, this is something where you need to reach a certain data and analytics maturity in your life cycle as a company in order to benefit from that. So there definitely will be a life cycle that we'll see from customers who are using reports and safe searches. They will use Suite Analytics. Of course, they will use Excel to a certain amount. And at one point in their analytics maturity, will say, hey, I need more, right? I need to bring in third-party data sources. I might want to do historical snapshotting and analyze my data, how it changed over time, and understand patterns based on that. And for them, we are ready with the analytics warehouse. And I think they will appreciate the benefits, and they'll get a lot of insights out of it.
I imagine there's just a lot of customers now that are exporting to Excel and doing all this in spreadsheets that could benefit big time.
Absolutely. Yeah. Export to Excel is a very common practice for the smaller and mid-sized companies to do the data analysis. And that's one thing we think we're going to help solve, because once you start swimming in a sea of spreadsheets, it's hard to keep the fidelity of the data, the integrity of the data. And if you don't have confidence in your data, it's tough to make decisions or take action on it.
Now, do you guys expose any data in the data warehouse as far as like other NetSuite users with businesses like yours? Like maybe I'm a brewery, and like other breweries, there's some sort of generic anonymous data set that I could run things against. Do you guys provide any data from your other NetSuite users?
Benchmarking?
Like a benchmarking service? Today we do not, but maybe down the road. But that would be interesting to see, to compare within the industries. But today we do not do any benchmarking services within the warehouse.
We always ask this question because benchmarking is one of those things that everyone asks for.
Sure.
But to do it right is so hard because garbage in, garbage out. Right. And like, what are you benchmarking against? Are these really businesses like yours?
Yeah, because that one brewery could be only selling direct to consumer, and the other breweries selling to grocery stores, and their margins are completely different. And you can't really compare.
Yeah, and how many businesses run themselves exactly the same way?
Yeah.
That's always tough. But you're right. People do ask for it a lot.
So maybe you guys can work on that next.
Yes, that'd be a good problem to solve.
Well, you want to take us out, David?
Yeah. Thanks, both of you, for joining us today. If somebody wants to learn more about this or get a hold of you, what's probably the best way?
They can visit netsuite.com. We have full information out there about the data warehouse, or info@netsuite.com will get you in touch with one of our account managers.
Great. I appreciate you guys joining us.
Thank you, Joe. Thank you, Marc.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.